Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Aquatic Ballpark. You're here live and exclusive on EBSN and Eagles Baseball Sports Network for tonight's round 5 of the New South Wales State League. It's the visiting second place Baulkham Hills Kookaburras against your Manly Eagles. The players are taking the field right now. The Baulkham Hills Eagles in the batter's box to lead off tonight. So at the top of the lineup is the second baseman, number 4, Jacob Eunice. Batting in the 2-hole, the centre fielder, James Percival. Playing first base, Matt Bennett. Hitting clean-up, the left fielder, Ben Cohn. Designated hitter, Heath Gray. Third baseman, Hayden Liberopoulos. Right field, Matt Martinson. The catcher, Jack Dormer. And the shortstop in the 9-hole, Luke Clapson. Starting on the mound for the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras will be Tom Roberts. And the manager for the Kookaburras is Phil Hemmer. And your Manly Eagles line up this way tonight. Leading off the shortstop and newly committed to Central Arizona College. Congratulations to Jalen Ray. The catcher, Jules Kremer. Designated hitter, Ryan Kalish. Cleanup, Nelson Phillips playing left field. First baseman, Daniel Goodsall hitting in the 5-hole. Young rookie, Josh Beasley playing second base, hitting 6. Adam O'Neill is in centre field again tonight. Right fielder, back from his next-gen prospect camps in the US, Gabriel Matto, and hitting in the 9-hole tonight. He goes from the leadoff to the 9-hole is third baseman Yoshi Umezawa. And on the mound is the ever young Masa Endo, and Chris Corey will take managerial duties this evening. Well, we're up and we're live tonight. Our first live coverage of Wednesday night baseball at Aquatic Ballpark. Game will be getting underway very shortly. The home plate umpire tonight is Nick Glasbrook. On first base is his Central Coast counterpart, Bob Crawford. And at third base is the local man, Keith Lehman. So strap yourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very beautiful evening here at Aquatic Ballpark. It was nice and warm on the northern beaches and across Sydney today. A little bit of cloud cover made me a bit nervous whilst we were getting set up. But fingers crossed that the conditions stay this way. Like I said, it's a gorgeous evening at the ballpark, as you can see on the coverage tonight. We've got 3 cameras for you tonight behind home plate, looking at the left side of the infield and the right side of the infield. And we may get one set up at some point as the game goes on. Just having some late technical difficulties with a dodgy cable, but we resolved that as Masa Endo starts with a strike and gets a swinging strike for Eunice. Now 0-2. A good start by Masa Endo. And Eunice makes contact there to Adam O'Neill. Running across, but Matto is underneath it, and that is the first out of the top of the first inning. One out for the Kookaburras, and it is the centre fielder James Percival stepping up to bat. As Masa Endo delivers strike 1 as Percival shapes the bunt. First baseman Daniel Goodsall crashing in on his Red Stitches workmate there. Percival pulls it back and takes it for strike 1. Massa 4 straight strikes to start this one tonight. And that one away for ball 1, 1 and 1 now the count. So Percival hitting .211 on the season today. He's 4 for 19 with 3 runs scored. Has 1 walk and struck out 5 times as he lifts that into left field. Nelson Phillips looking for it, can't find it. And it's fallen in the Bermuda triangle in left centre. Adam O'Neill will pick it up and toss it back into Jalen Ray for the first runner of the game. Percival does reach second. Sorry, I missed that. I was too busy looking at the outfield. I had a feeling he probably would have hustled up to second, and he certainly did that now for the Baulkham Hills legend and Lionel Harris medal winner, Matt Bennett, making a return to the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras in their 50th year this year. They had their gala dinner just before the season started, and this guy has played a big role in their successes As he takes strike one there, does Bennett. Wearing jersey 1, leading the hitting for the Kookaburras, average of 294 with 5 RBIs and 4 walks and only the single strikeout. And strike 2 there down the middle for Endo. 2 strikes now on Bennett. Endo sets now 2 strikes, checks Percival at second, taking his lead. And a little loopy curveball, one of Massa Endo's special pitches. And it's fouled off to the left side. Bennett still behind 0-2. And another foul to the back net over the fence. It's a foul ball for the young spectators in the ground tonight. They all run after it, take it back to the Manly dugout, and they get their voucher for the canteen. Saves a lot on game balls. As we hear the Kookaburras chirping in the background. And Bennett there lifts the ball over into right field. Be a close play at the plate here. Goodsall cutting it off though, as Percival crosses for the first run of this one. Left fielder now, Ben Cohn, stepping in with a runner on first. And 1 out here in the top of the first. And he'll take a ball upstairs for ball 1 to start this one here. Benny Cohn grounds the ball to third base to Umezawa. Jalen Ray on the turn, can't make the throw. Cohn thinks about going to first. Should probably get back on the bag just in case there is a tag play. Goodsall running back with the ball. But Cohn reaches on the fielder's choice. Nice clean hands and a good clean feed from Umezawa at third base. But young Josh Beasley just can't make the turn to finish it off. But it is 2 out now. And it brings up the designated hitter for the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras, Heath Gray. Recently returned from his honeymoon. And takes that pitch for strike 1. Cohn takes his lead. Quick pick flare from Endo over to first base. So this is Gray's first at-bat of the season. And that pitch will up and away there for ball 1. Evens the count. 1 ball and a strike. Endo sets now with the runner at first, taking his lead. Oh, and he hits him in the hip there. So welcome back to baseball, Heath. On board now with 2 out through the hit by pitch. And up comes one of the longest names in baseball at the moment, Liberopoulos. Big curve on his name, on his back of his jersey. Appearing in only his second game of the season. 2 hits from 2 at-bats in his limited appearances. And Massa losing a bit of control here. Just hit Gray in the hip, and then that one ends up behind the legs of Liberopoulos. So Massa Endo's behind early, 1 ball. And there he comes back with a strike. 1 ball and a strike now for Endo on Liberopolis. Good little crowd in play tonight, considering kids did go back to school this week and there wasn't any junior baseball on, which is normally the case here at Aquatic on Wednesday nights. Probably just over the 150 mark. But the weather more favourable tonight than it was last Wednesday. So good to see the Manly supporters out in their numbers. It's Wicked Wings night at the ballpark. And Liberopolis now down a ball and 2 strikes. Here, Endo looking to finish it. And he does with a nice strike. So that will finish the top of the first inning. 1 run in for the Kookaburras. Early runs are very important in these games. Wednesday night games are timed games. So the more runs you can score early, the better. So on the Procar Automotive scoreboard with the Eagles coming up to bat, the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras do have an early 1-0 lead. And we'll be right back after a message from our sponsors. And that sponsor is a new one this year, I Love Pizza. Who doesn't love pizza? But are you missing out on pizzas with different flavours to complement the traditional? Want something mouth-watering using exclusive, fresh, high-quality ingredients? Or do you want to enjoy traditional goodness you desire as well as amazing, delicious South American flavours on a crispy, thin base? Open 7 days a week. We Love Pizza offer pick-up, delivery and eat-in from 2 convenient locations in DY and Balgala. Catering for functions isn't a problem, even on short notice. Simply give the team a call and they will happily discuss your requirements. I love pizza. Love every bite. So leading off for the Eagles in the bottom of the first inning is the shortstop, the new Central Arizona commit in Jalen Ray, and he takes ball 1 inside from the Baulkham Hills starting pitcher, Tommy Roberts. J. Ray, as he is affectionately known, has just returned from the World Showcase as he lifts that ball into centre field. It's over the head of the centre fielder. Jalen's going to turn around second. He's on his way to third base. The ball comes in. It's cut off by looks like the left fielder there, or the shortstop. And it's a stand-up triple for Jalen Ray, leading off this bottom of the first inning. And Manly with a nice opportunity to get that early run back. So Jules Kremer now steps in after his first full week in Australia. And he takes a daddy hack there for strike 1 to start this one, with Ray sitting on third base, 90 feet away from tying up this ball game. And strike 2 there from Roberts, so Kremer behind now, 0-2. Kremer reaches for that one. It's going to go foul. Just hung around the plate a little bit. Kremer wasn't sure where it went, but it thankfully rolled foul. So Kremer there fouls it off. 4-pitch at bat now, going deep into the count, making the pitcher Tommy Roberts work. And he will take that on the knees to strike 3, so 1 out. So Ryan Kalish will step up now, number 55. Hitting in the DH role for the Eagles tonight. Picked up his first couple of hits on the weekend. And was presented with his game ball up in the clubhouse in the post-max function post-game on Sunday night as he takes that one for strike one. Tommy Roberts, 2.87 ERA with one loss to his name this year through 15.2 innings of work, 5 earned runs, 5 balls and 14 strikeouts. One of Baulkham Hills' better young pitchers at the club. Has spent time in the Blue Sox system as a development player. And has troubled Manly hitters in first grade. Kalish getting ahead in the count now, 2 balls and a strike. Take that one, big swing there from Kalish for strike 2 now. 2-2, runner on third. Kalish is checking to make sure that was a strike and he didn't swing at a ball. Nick Glasbrook gives him the answer he wanted, and yes, it was a strike. So 2-2. And a foul back to the back net. So bigger bat here for Kalish. Needs to drive it a run. Tie this ball game up in the first inning. And there he goes. Punches it into opposite field. It's already hit 2 shots last week. And he will knock in the RBI to score Ray from third base. So it's 1 out and Kalish on first base. Nelson Phillips steps up. Nelson will be looking to improve on his batting average so far. Not that batting average says a lot, but it is very strongly reflected on. My producers just told me to put my phone on silent, which is probably a good idea. Strike 2 now for Phillips. And hacking off there to stay alive. So still 2 strikes for Phillips. Phillips only one of 3 players so far in the Manly lineup to have statistical eligibility when you look at the stat sheet for the Eagles. As he puts that one into right field, it's going to fall in the hole. Kalish went halfway. Made sure it fell. And there's another hit for Nelson and Phillips. Into right field. And Manly now with 2 runners aboard on first and second base. Threatening here in the top of the first. And Daniel Goodsall back from a recent overseas holiday with his family. Good to have Daniel back in the first grade lineup tonight. He takes a big swing there to get things started, shaking a bit of rust out. Saw him in training last night. He hit the ball very well, so he'll be very eager to get back into the swing of things after a few weeks out. And that one up for ball 1, now 1-1. Goodsall checks in with skipper Chris Corey in the third base coach's box for the single. And it's line drive there to the second baseman for the Hawks. Sorry, for the Kookaburras. And it will be a double play to end the inning. Probably not the signal he was hoping, or the result that Chris Corey was hoping for, but contact there by Daniel Goodsall. So on the Pro Car Automotive scoreboard, after one complete, it's the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras 1 and your Manly Eagles 1. Actually, probably is too tight because you're going to be taking. Matt Martin leading off the top of the second for the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras. He's below. He's behind now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And fouls that one off to keep the at bat alive. Massarendo doesn't like that ball. Throws it back to his catcher, Jules Kremer. And they'll find the one that has the strikeout written on it. And that one's down for ball 2 now. 2 and 2. Evens up the count. Dean Aldridge was supposed to start tonight, but was a late scratching after throwing in a simulation game last night for the Blue Sox in some pre-season action at Blacktown International Sports Park. So Massa Endo is a first grade manager, so he will pick things up and lead by example here. Martinson grounds that to the shortstop. Jalen Ray picks it up. Nice long throw over to Daniel Goodsall at first base. And that is the first out here in the top of the second inning. Jack Dorman now the catcher for the Kookaburras. Steps in with 1 out. and takes a strike belt high for strike one. Kookaburra started their season with a win in round one. 3-1 win over the MacArthur Orioles, with young Liam McCallum picking up the win in that game, and Tom Roberts the save as Dormer drives that one to Adam O'Neill at centre field, and on 3 pitches, that is the second out of the inning. The Wednesday night game was washed out, as was Manly's against the Canterbury Vikings. And then round 2, they took the weekend game on the Saturday off Baulkham Hills. Sorry, they went down to Ryde on the Sunday game at their home ground at Northmead, as Luke Clapson takes strike one there. But they rebounded midweek and forced a draw against the Hawks, despite giving up a run in the 7th and final inning of the game. They escaped 2-2, and Clapson there takes a big hack at that one for a ball and 2 strikes. Round 3, big win for the Baulkham Hills side over last year's champions, the Canterbury Vikings, 14-4. Jalen Ray runs across, scoops, fires, but not in time. Clapson with good wheels and got at that first base very quickly. That ball hit softish and to the right-hand side of Ray, calling off his third baseman, Umezawa. Just couldn't quite make the play. So Clapson now aboard on first with 2 out here in the top of the second. So big 14-4 win for the Kookaburras over the Vikings in round 3. At home at Northmead. Even spread of hits throughout the lineup. And again, it was Liam McCallum with the win in that one. And they squared off again at Blacktown International Sports Park in the midweek game. And again, gave up late runs. 2 in the 7th and 3 in the 8th. Just couldn't quite hold them off. And had to settle again for another draw. Seems to be the way for Baulkham Hills sometimes in first grade. They seem to pick up a couple of draws along the way, especially early in the season. But they are sitting in second position behind Blacktown as Clapson takes off. Ground ball off the glove of Umezawa into left field. Backed up by Jalen Ray. Looked like a regulation ground ball, but Eunice there hitting it hard. Getting past the third baseman. And with 2 out, runners on first and second now for the Kookaburras. They are threading. And round 4 they had the bye, so they've enjoyed the week off. They've had 2 weeks off with a long weekend before that. And they are nice and fresh for this week's tilt and the next couple of weeks coming up. So James Percival now. Stepping in. Hit a double into the triangle in right centre field as he takes that one for ball 1. And a big foul there over to right field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids chasing down that one. And they have found the winner. So another bag of lollies for that young fella. 1-1 now for Percival against Endo. Percival looking to try and extend the Baulkham Hills lead. Fouls that one to the back screen. 1-2. The on-deck batter, Matt Bennett, just checking that ball out, making sure it's still usable. 1-2 now. Endo checking his runners. Clapson at second. Eunice at first. And a foul tip there in the glove of Jules Kramer. That will end the inning. So nice, quick work, despite a couple of quick hits from the Baulkham Hills. But after 1.5, the score will remain 1-1. Devitt Wholesale Meats is a traditional butcher shop first opened in 1976 by the Driver family, who have worked hard to keep Devitt's reputation for quality, service and value. They have a large staff of fully qualified butchers, and butchery is their craft, cooking is a passion, and the two go hand in hand. The team is awesome, friendly, knowledgeable and talented, and they are invested in making sure you are completely happy with your purchase. They feel a genuine responsibility to their discerning community and are your gateway from farm to table. Devitt source product from farms across the east coast of Australia and respect the product and share a dedication to responsible animal husbandry and wholesome sustainable practices. The factory is fully certified and they are committed to keeping their equipment and transport up to date and in top working order. So if you're at the ballpark this Sunday, make sure you head up to our barbecue where we will have Devitt meats in full supply, sausages and mouth-watering steaks. Devitt meats. Tom Beasley now stepping in for the Manly Eagles in the bottom of the second. Tom, one of a bunch of young under-18 kids getting their chance in the early part of this season in first grade, with a few guys missing on different opportunities, and it certainly hasn't overawed Tom. And that one just can't get over the leaping of Jacob Eunice, and that will be the first out of the inning. So Adam O'Neill now with one out. Ground announcer getting his number wrong. And that's down for ball one. Adam, 5 at-bats in 2 games so far this season, with 1 run score, which came on Sunday as he fouls that ball over to the right side. And now 1-1. Curveball there from Roberts, getting him back in ahead of the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Adam hits a high fastball into right field. Eunice can't get that one. And Adam gets his first hit in first grade for the season. A 1-out single here in the bottom of the second. Legs 11, Gabriel Matos stepping into the batter's box for the Eagles. Looking to keep things going here in the bottom of the second. Evan O'Neill with the lead at first. Does have pretty good speed, so is a base stealing threat for the Eagles as Matto takes that ball down for ball 1. And up there for ball 2. So Gab building a nice count here. Getting himself ahead. Oh, and off the knob of the bat. Straight to the broadcast booth. Skipper Phil Hammer will run across and pick that one up. Well, he's not quite running, but he made an attempt. 2 balls and 1 strike now for Matto, with a runner on first. With Adam O'Neill going, that's ball 3 inside. Adam O'Neill will slide in with out a throw. That gets you a fine in some teams. So O'Neill moving himself into scoring position in a 2-1 count now for Matto. Ooh. Correction, that was a 3-1 count. Matto thought that was ball 4, but umpire Glasbrook had other thoughts, and that'll fill the count now with O'Neill at second base. Curveball up, too high. Just missed up, but missed by enough. And that'll put Matto on first. First and second now with 1 out. And Umezawa, who has been at the top of the lineup so far in the first few weeks of the season, but with Jalen Ray returning, he drops back down to the 9 hole, which is certainly not because of any lack of effort, but Chris Corey likes to have a strong hitter in that 9 hole. And Umezawa takes strike 1. Umezawa has certainly been strong so far in his 4 appearances this season. And so Umezawa takes strike 1, and then that ball away for ball 1. 1-1 now with 1 out. And 2 on. Jalen Ray warming up in the on-deck circle. Sticking his helmet in front of our left side camera. And Umezawa fouls that one off just in front of us here. So a ball and 2 strikes now for Yoshi Umezawa. 74 on his back. Did play with the Baulkham Hills club last year, so he's coming up against his old teammates. Played a big part in their second grade team last year. And fouls that one off. Who Manly did knock over in the preliminary final on the way to their championship win last season. Spends a little bit of time in their first grade side. So 1 and 2 here. Curveball. Can't catch up with it. And he swings away and loses his helmet in the process. That's 2 out. Jalen Ray now 2 out here. Runners on first and second. We'll be looking to punch in a couple. Matto will be hard to stop from first base. And Razor punches that into right field. That will be extra bases. Matto will be looked to score it. No, it won't be extra bases. That ball kind of sat down in right field. But the go-ahead run in Adam O'Neill does score. And Manly have runners on the corners. Jalen showing some real maturity at the plate so far in his young first grade career, hitting to all parts of the ballpark. And possibly one of the reasons why he had a lot of colleges looking to sign him. So Jules Kremer now struck out in his last at-bat. We'll be looking to improve on that, and he fouls that one off over into the throng of junior kids behind the first base dugout. And he goes down 0-1. Tommy Roberts with the pickoff attempt over to first base. Matto hoping that ball gets away. But well handled there by Matt Bennett at first base. Jules sits back on that one, fouls it off back to the back screen. Two strikes now for Roberts on Kremer. And another curveball there by Roberts gets the third out of the inning. So after 2 complete, your Eagles are back in the lead on the Pro Car Automotive scoreboard. It's the Manly Eagles 2, Baulkham Hills 1. Josh Gesser now, the new pitcher for the Manly Eagles. And it's good to have Josh back in the club. Has returned from a quick stint with the Philadelphia Phillies after signing with them halfway through the year. Josh accepted a scholarship to Tulane University, but the Phillies have been keen on him for some time, and we're finally in a position to be able to get Josh on board, much to the delight of Josh, his family, and as well as the Manly Baseball Club and his junior club, the Dragons Baseball Club. So congratulations, Josh, and welcome back to Manly. So Gesser now facing the left-handed first baseman, left-handed hitting, first baseman Matt Bennett. Gesser ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes in the top of the third inning. And a little soft line drive there to the shortstop Jalen Ray for the first out. So with 1 out, it'll be the left fielder, Ben Cone, stepping in. And a strike there to start things for Gesser. On the swing, called by home plate umpire Nick Glasbrook on that one. So Cone behind now, 0-2. And strike 3 on the knees. Great pitch there by Gesser to get Cone. The slider enough to get the job done. So Heath Gray now with 2 out. Quick work here by Gesser in the top of the second inning. And he swings half-heartedly in the end of that one. Our ground announcer there getting the order of the name of Heath Gray, calling him Grey Heath. And that strike 2 called there for Grey Heath, as called by the ground announcer here, Jimmy Gagan, who does a marvellous job keeping our spectators entertained. And now players with their walk-up songs, and close there, but just outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. I must remember I do have a monitor in front of me. It's much easier to watch where the ball is on the monitor than trying to look from the side angle. So Gesser now, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and hits the outside corner for 2 ball and 2 strikes here in the top of the third. That ball actually getting away from Jules Kramer there. So 2-2 now. Gesser rocks and fires, and he gets the swing from Heath Gray. Nice quick inning. Less than 10 pitches in that one. That's the way we like it here at Manly. So after the top of the third, Manly holding a 2-1 lead. Are you hankering for niche vehicle service providers for your vehicle's varied mechanical care? You do not need to search each player for your vehicle's mechanic and repairing need. Procar are the one-stop solution for all your mechanical repair services and have been servicing the Northern Beaches for over 30 years. They provide all mechanical services at the sprawling centre, equipped with all the latest tools and modern amenity. Come down to Middleton Road, Cromer, and say hello to John and the team at Procar. So bottom of the third now, and it's Ryan Kalish to lead things off for the Eagles. 2-1 up here, live and exclusive on Eagles Baseball Sports Network. And it's a beautiful night for baseball up at Aquatic Ballpark. And fouls that one off now 0-2. Ball down, curveball in the dirt, 1-2, trying to induce the swing. And then that ball away, 2-2 now for Roberts against Ryan Kalish, the former Chicago Cub and Boston Red Sox World Series winning outfielder. It's great to have Ryan in the club. And there's certainly going to be a lot of players learning from him whilst he is here. Ryan fouls that one off to keep this at bat going. 2-2. And staying alive there is Kalish, popping that one up over the back, almost taking out a brand new scoreboard with the illuminated green numbers. Manly will be looking for their first win since that scoreboard has been installed, with all teams losing so far that have played with that scoreboard in action. And Kalish strikes out swinging in that one for the first out of the inning. Nelson Phillips now stepping in after that base hit in the previous inning. And that is down for ball one. And a base hit into left field for Nelson. He could stretch this hit into a double, but he holds off with the pitcher in left field, who isn't afraid to throw a strike to second base, and Nelson Phillips would have been nowhere near the base. So good care by the coach, Jason Tabor, there at first to keep Nelson to a single. Nelson now 2 for 2 on the night, so good to see him back, seeing the ball and hitting it hard. Daniel Goodsell now steps in with one out, and Nelson Phillips on first base. And that one goes all the way to the backstop. Nelson Phillips was tracking back to the base, but turned around in time and will take second on the wild pitch there from Tom Roberts. And that is ball one on number 9, Daniel Goodsell. Now hitting with that runner, Phillips in scoring position. Nelson with a nice handy lead there at second base. And a high hack there from Goodsell. Now evens the count, 1 ball and a strike. Curveball just misses on the outside corner for the second ball of the at-bat. 2-1 now for Goodsell. And fouls that one off. Evens the count now. Onto the clubhouse roof. And it looks like there'll be one happy child racing after that one to pick up his bag of lollies. And that ball down in the dirt. Feels the count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Goodsall is a very experienced campaigner and knows the job at hand here. And takes that one on the knees, but it is a called strike, much to the disappointment of Goodsall, who had thrown his bat back towards the dugout. Bit of a discussion there with the home plate umpire, Nick Glasbrook. But that is the second out of the inning, with Nelson Phillips still standing at second base. Josh Beasley now, hitting with 2 out here in the bottom of the third inning. And he takes strike 2 there at the belt from Roberts after taking a big swing at that first pitch. Beasley now down 0-2. But it only takes one, and a little bit of a lift and turn there from Roberts, making sure Nelson isn't creeping too far away from that second base. Curveball just chops off the outside edge of the plate, with Nelson forming a bit of a shimmy step in at second base. And a line drive there should score Nelson Phillips from second base. A bobbable by Ben Combe will make sure that happens. And Josh Beasley has driven in a run here in the bottom of the third inning. Manly out to a 3-1 lead. A nice long at bat by Beasley, taking 5 pitches to make sure that Nelson wasn't left on base and picking himself up with a single. His second hit in first grade in his young career. So Adam O'Neill now steps in. Opportunity to extend this bottom of the third inning here for the Eagles. Take strike 1 at the knees. Beasley with the lead at first base. Will be eager to get himself to third on anything that finds the outfield here from O'Neill as Adam takes strike 2. Behind in the count now, 0-2. And that ball is up. Breaking ball that didn't quite break. Not able to be caught by Jack Dormer, but not with penalty there. And that's strike 3 there at the belt. That ball worked. And that is the end of the third inning. But on the Procar automatic scoreboard, your Manly Eagles get an extra run, and it's 3-1 through 3. So Josh Gessler now out for his second inning of work here in the top of the fourth inning. And he is ahead 1-2 and gets the third strike for the first out of the inning. Hayden Liberopoulos, his victim here. So that'll bring up Matt Martinson for the Kookaburras. Martinson, the right fielder, swings at strike one. So Gessler working very effectively here. And that pitch up. 1-1 now for Martinson. And strike two. Now, 2 and 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that ball misses the zone, misses the location, and misses Jules Kremer's glove and goes back to the bat net. And that should make it 2-2. I believe it's 2-2. I think Nick Lasbrook just told Matt Martinson it's 2-2. Our scoreboard certainly says 2-2. And there they are, the fingers say 2-2. So the 2-2 pitch here from Gessler as Martinson calls time on the long hold by Josh, trying to mess up the timing of Matt Martinson. And that pitch looked pretty good. Maybe missing on the outside corner, but that will fill the count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Martinson battles back to win that one, drawing the walk. Jules Kremer just going out just to make sure they're on the same page. The ball that got away from Kremer looked like Kremer got a bit crossed up. So that'll be the first of 5 visits. New rule here in the league. 5 visits per game for anyone. Unless, of course, the manager makes a change. I had to reread the rules today because I saw something that was different to what I originally thought. So even if it is a cross-up of signals, it is still charged as a visit. Unless the team has exhausted their visits, the catcher can request to go and speak to the catcher. But a cross-up visit is still a visit. And a back pick there. Well scooped by Goodsall at first base. Big lead there by Martinson, who is a base stealer. Albeit hasn't stolen a base yet this season. That ball just getting away from Kremer, but not enough for Martinson to take off. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike for Gessler. Plenty of encouragement coming out of that Eagles dugout. Gessler looking for the ground ball here to finish it in 1 pitch. And that ball fouled off into the night sky over right field. And that will make it 2-2 here in the top of the 4th. This is a 2.5-hour game, so no innings rule. Our ball just getting away from Kramer there, so Martinson will move up the 80 feet. 90 feet, rather. And move into scoring position for Dormer. Gessner now behind, 3-2. Needs to find what he had in the first inning. And with the earlier visit, there won't be a chance for skipper Chris Corey to come out and have a word to him. And that's outside for ball 4. So it'll bring up the 9-hitter, Luke Clapson. So Clapson with 2 from 15 through 5 games so far with 2 strikeouts. Gessner will be looking to hopefully add to that strikeout tally. And starts Clapson with a strike. Fastball there. 4 strike 1 gets him ahead in the count. And on the outside corner, another fastball. So 2 strikes now. Gessner working back into his groove. Trying to finish this inning. And there it is, strike 3. Slider there, getting the job done for the second out of the inning. But Baulkham Hills will turn the line-up order over. They'll go back to Jacob Eunice in the lead-off spot. Eunice a bit of a journeyman as of late. Won a championship at Penrith and then won one at Canterbury last year. He has returned to the Kookaburras in their 50th year celebration. And that's a strike down for strike 1. Gessner starting on the right foot here. And another curveball gets him ahead. 2 strikes now, 2 out, 2 on in the top of the 4th here at Aquatic Ballpark. And Eunice lifts that one into the air. Adam O'Neill moves underneath it and makes the catch to finish the top of the 4th. And heading into the bottom of the inning, your Manly Eagles 3, Baulkham Hills 1. The Raelius team are a small, proud team who take a proud, personal and professional approach to their sale, installation and maintenance of their revolutionary rail glider systems. The Raelius Rail Glider is the most innovative and unique incline access product on the market. Offering smooth, quiet and rapid access to all the properties on an incline, the Raelius Rail Glider is the up-to-date solution for home access anywhere. To find out more, visit www.raelius.com.au. So Gab Matto leading off the bottom of the fourth for the Eagles, fouls off the first pitch and takes that pitch for strike one. Coming from Aquatic Ballpark in French's Forest, live and exclusive on EBSN, Eagles Baseball Sports Network, and Gabriel Matto called out on the swing there through the check to first base umpire Bob Crawford. That's the first out of the bottom of the fourth. And it'll bring up the third baseman, Yoshi Umezawa. Struck out in his last at-bat, so we'll be looking for a better at-bat here. Grounds that ball to the shortstop, Clapson. Throws it over and gets the out. Second out. Quick inning here so far for Roberts. 4 pitches, 4 strikes, and 2 outs. So top of the lineup now for the Eagles, and it's the shortstop, Jalen Ray, product of the Forest Baseball Club. I remember watching Jalen throwing a 6-inning no-hitter in the Little League State Championships a few years ago. Certainly come a long way from a Little League pitcher to now a starting first grade shortstop. Got his first start in first grade 3 years ago under the tutelage of now Eagles chairman Michael O'Neill. Played a bit of shortstop and a bit of centre field, and also was a key part of the under-18 victory 2 seasons ago, playing in the shortstop position. And he grounds that one past Liberopoulos at first base. Bit of a little hopsy there. Gets past into left field. And that is a 2-out hit for Jalen Ray. So Jules Kremer stepping up. Doesn't have a walkout song because the one has chosen was a Dutch song which couldn't be found on any downloading website. So he will have to sit down with the operations manager and find another song as he hacks that one away for strike one. You'd think the ground announcer would just play something rather than an air of silence. Try to keep a bit of mood. Probably why he struck out twice so far, because he's got nothing to pump him up. So pick off attempt there from Roberts over at first base, keeping Jalen Ray close. Knowing full well that Jalen Ray is a base stealing threat, but again hasn't attempted to steal a base yet this season. Manly 3 for 6 on the stolen bases. Baulkham Hills 15 for 17. So prolific base stealers, the Baulko side. Manly not so much, only stealing at a third of the rate that the Kookaburras do. And Jules won't foul. He swings and misses. And again, is behind 2 strikes. And that ball in the dirt, but doesn't get past young Jack Dormer there. The backstop for the Baulko side, keeping Jalen Ray at first base, not allowing him to move up into a run scoring position. So the 1-2 now from Roberts to, here's a curveball fouled back into the shoulder of Kremer. So the 1-2 now from Roberts. Looking to finish this inning for the Baulko and get his side back swinging the bats, but that is low for ball 2. Bit of movement over in the Baulko dugout. One of their pitchers just limbering up, getting ready to possibly come into the game. Roberts pitching very well through 4 innings so far tonight. Kremer grounds the ball. Short to Liberopoulos, comes in, picks it up, throws it across the diamond. Kremer can't extend this Manly bottom of the fourth. But Manly still ahead, 3-1 on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. We'll be back soon. James Percival now leading off for the Baulkham Hills club in the top of the 5th inning. 4 straight fouls and a 2-2 count. And he finally finds one, but he picks out the right fielder, Gabriel Matto, in right field, and that is the first out of the top of the 5th here. Manly with a 3-1 lead. Gessner in his 3rd inning of work. Bennett now for the Kookaburras with 1 out here in the top of the 5th. And he takes a strike, checked his swing, but umpire Nick Lasbrook said it was a strike regardless. And that one slips out of the hands of Gessner. And that one back off the bat of Bennett, off the foot of Gessner, and through the tunnel there on Ray. So a single there for Matt Bennett. As I watch the replay there, off the foot, and then Jalen Ray not able to clean it up at the back. So Bennett's aboard. Benny Cone now, the left fielder. Cone takes that pitch down for ball 1. One away, Bennett on first. Ball 1 for Cone. And that ball hit through the left side by Cone. A single to Phillips out in left field. And that'll put runners on first and second with 1 out. Here in the top of the 5th inning. As the skipper Massa Endo, who doubled as today's starting pitcher, goes out, takes the ball from Gessner. He has reached his limit for tonight. So we will have a pitching change, and it looks like it's the lefty, Jimmy Miller, coming to the mount. So James Miller now the pitcher for the Manly Eagles from the left side. He has Heath Gray behind, 1 strike. And 2 runners on board. They are the responsibility of Josh Gessner. 2 1/3 strong innings here. Reaching a pitch count of around 36 in this one. We could see Josh again on Sunday in Sunday's game. And a nice curveball there by Miller gets Heath Gray out swinging, and that's the second out of the inning. So I should turn my microphone off before I decide to have a drink of water. Hayden Liparopoulos now, batting with 2 out here in the top of the 5th inning. And he lifts the ball. And a great running catch there by Daniel Goodsall. The first baseman running deep into foul territory. That ball didn't have a lot of arc on it. But Goodsall showing a clean set of wheels. Gets over into foul territory quickly. And a basket over the shoulder catch to finish the top of the 5th here at Aquatic Ballpark. And we will head to the bottom of the inning with Manly looking to get a few more runs on this board. This game's a long way from over. And after a couple of games so far this year, they'll definitely be wanting to press this Baulkham Hills team and score a few more runs to put themselves in a good position. Seventh Day Brewery is Northern Beach's youngest up-and-coming craft brewery and tap house. Conveniently located in the heart of Brookvale, the big-hearted venue with a thirst for excellence brings a fresh vibe to the craft beer scene, one small batch at a time. The tap house showcases the core and seasonal offerings with currently 7 beers on tap, 5 of which are their core. Seventh Day is open all weekend, so why not head down after the ball game and enjoy a refreshing ale or 2. Seventh Day Brewery, Brookvale. So Ryan Carter will lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Eagles. And a nice scooping play there by Eunice on the first pitch. And it will be the first out. Roberts still out on the mound for Baulkham Hills. 1 pitch and 1 out. Every pitcher's favourite position to be in. That ball was hit hard by Kalish, but Eunice playing deep in that second base position. Stayed back on it, corralled the ball into his glove, and threw it across to Matt Bennett for the out, as Nelson Phillips takes that down for ball 1. So 1-1 there after the called strike to Nelson Phillips. And that curveball just drops away into the dirt for ball 2, 2-1. Baulkham Hills, bit of action down in the right field bullpen with Josh Smith and the veteran Chris Oxspring returning to the club late last season and back at the club full time, and is also, I believe, the pitching coach at the Sydney Blue Sox this year. So good to see Ox back involved in baseball in Sydney and New South Wales this season. I'm sure he'll be a handy acquisition at the Kookaburras with their depth of pitching in the club. So 1-2 now for Phillips here. That ball up. Almost got a swing out of Phillips. Sorry, that was a 3-1 pitch, as Nick Lasbrook corrects me. And is now the full count. And Nelson fouls that off. Sorry, it was a 2-2 pitch. That was ball 3. And then that foul keeps the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Temporarily distracted while I found out from the Baulkham club who was in the pen. So the 3-2 pitch again. And Nelson down on the swing. Picked there by Dormer and the tag applied. So 2 out now for the Eagles with Daniel Goodsell stepping up. So Goodsell takes strike 1 at the knees there to start this at bat. 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. That one missing on the outside corner. 1 ball and a strike. So Goody strikes out there to finish the 5th inning. And on the Procar Automotive scoreboard, your Manly Eagles 3 lead the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras 1. Don't forget, if you are following on the stream tonight, you can shoot us a message. We've had a couple of messages from a couple of our followers, and my little nephew's just walked in to the booth. Come give me... No cuddle? Cuddle? No, he's too busy dancing to Who Let the Dogs Out. So good evening to our viewers. Apologies for not picking you up earlier, but I haven't had the iPad up with the feed, so I do have it now. So a big hello to everyone out there watching. Currently 28 viewers, so send us a message, say g'day, let us know where you're watching from. Be more than happy to interact with you live as the ball game goes on. It's a 3-1 ball game here in the top of the 6th. Miller back out to keep things going here. Stem the tide of the Baulkham Hills and put up another 0. As that ball's hacked away there by Matt Martinson leading off for strike 1. Big g'day as Martinson's called on the strike there. So 2 strikes for Miller ahead early in this one. To big Joshy Allen, the big Sodge. Hope he's still watching in and his young fella hasn't put him to sleep at 10 to 9 on a Wednesday. Coach Josh in his younger days at the Warringah Baseball Club. Very fearsome pitcher, threw the ball hard. Sometimes with not a lot of accuracy, scared a lot of batters, but he was very dominant when he found the strike zone. So g'day to Sodge. The Ride Red Little League, g'day to them. Taking a lot of inspiration from the Ride Club with the live stream as Martinson strikes out there. First out of the inning in the top of the 6th. Going to bring up the catcher for the Kookaburras, Jack Dormer. And Andrew Turner, hard worker down there also at the Warringah Baseball Club, my junior club. created the Warringah Baseball Club website quite a few years ago when we went through a bit of a change, as Jack Dormer swings at strike one. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you do get the updates when the games go live or when they're up and coming. We will have a lot of content coming your way as the season progresses. That curveball just missing on the inside corner there. 1-1 now for Dormer. Good patience there shown by the young catcher. 30 people currently watching, so it's good to see the presence building in our very short history. So hopefully those 30 that are watching have subscribed to the channel. Hit the subscribe button. At 800 views of all 4 games. Once we've got through our technical difficulties last week. Feel free to go back and watch some of those other games as well. So 2-2 now here for Jack Dormer. Top of the 6th inning at Aquatic Ballpark. And Miller drops that one over. Strike on the outside corner. Beautiful location by Jimmy. Doesn't throw the ball hard, but mixes up a good variety of off-speed pitches. Baffles the best of batters. So well done, James Miller. 2 out here in the top of the 6th. Shortstop now in the 9-hole, Luke Clapson. Try and keep this inning going for the Baulkham Hills club. Owen Harris, hope you subscribe, sir. Need any info on anything happening here at the ballpark, send it through. You can also catch the live play-by-play on Game Changer. Head over to the Manly Eagles first grade Game Changer. Jump online there and you can see all the stats and all the live play-by-play action at all Manly first grade, second, third and under 18 games this season as Clapson swings at that behind in the count now at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jacob Eunice waiting on deck, hoping to get his turn here to keep this inning going and try and claw back these 2 runs that they currently trail. Foul there by Clapson, unable to be handled by Kremer. Was hoping umpire Nick Glasbrook didn't notice the tip on the ball and tried to tag out Clapson, but the foul was called and it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Miller sets now, looking to finish this off. And ground ball. Yoshi Yamazawa picks it up, throws across the diamond, and that'll do it. So that'll finish the top of the 6th inning. We'll head into the bottom with your Manly Eagles coming up to bat. But first, let me tell you about Black Label Fitness. Founded on a simple principle, Black Label Fitness only ever had one mission: make exercise an experience. Black Label Fitness are the new kids on the block to make sure that happens. Forget the boring, monotonous workouts or plodding along on a treadmill. Exercise should never be a chore. Our trainers are born leaders and have an uncanny ability to inspire, motivate, and educate, and they are all have a great sense of humour, leaving you with the feeling that you can take over the world every single session. So if you're looking to make a change in your fitness regime or feel as if you need some motivation, come down to the gym, say good day to Adam, as they don't bite, and they'll be thrilled to get you on board. Black Label Fitness. You can find them down in Warriewood. So Josh Beasley now leading off the top of the 6th, looking to pick up his second hit tonight. But it won't be this at bat as he is down on strikes. Nice little curveball there by Tommy Roberts getting that job done. And the Baulkham Hills Club are away with an out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Adam O'Neill there takes the ball up for ball 1. Takes the pitch up rather for ball 1. And that is a strike on the outside corner. A little bit of action up in the bullpen for the Eagles. The righty, Zach McAllister by the looks of it. Or is that Josh Gessler just doing a little bit of maintenance on his action? And then the lefty, the young Luke Brown, also up there walking around. Yes, it is Josh Gessler just going over his mechanics, trying to work out what went wrong late in his workout. And Adam O'Neill pulls that ball in the left field. Gets himself aboard here in the 6th inning. So Gab Matto now with 1 out and Adam O'Neill standing on first base. I'll be looking to keep the wheels turning. And that's off the glove of Clapson, pushed into left field. Cone was moving over. He slipped over on the attempt to get back. And it is without any further advancement of the runners. Gab Matto attacking that first pitch offering from Tommy Roberts there. The glove, off the glove there. So runners aboard here, and Phil Hemmer makes the long walk out to the mound. And it looks like it will be a pitching change here. What the bullpen looks like they're ready to go. No, it looks like it's just going to be a chat. Just breaking up the Manly rhythm. So this is the first game of round 5 in all of the New South Wales State League competitions, including the Women's League. The Manly women's team is currently 3 wins and 1 loss on the season. They travel out to Blacktown International Sports Park on Friday night. So Hammer back in the dugout after a quick chat with his pitcher up on the mound, just calming him down and breaking up a bit of the Manly rhythm. And it's the 9-hole hitter, Yoshi Umezawa, or as Chris Corey likes to call him, the second leadoff batting in the 9-hole. Yep, so the Manly women's playing against the Blacktown Workers Red team at Blacktown International Sports Park, Diamond 3. So if you are in the area, pop in, catch the girls in action for a team that almost didn't get on the park 10 days out from the start of the season. They've performed well and above all expectations that the club had, so it's good to see them doing so well under their head coach Todd Eisenhower and assistant coach Benny Little. And they also get the opportunity to train with the men's States League side on Thursday night, so exposure to some high quality players at training. That ball lifted up into the air, in the left field. No one knows where it is. It's going to fall in the gap. Adam O'Neill takes off to get to third base. The ball's thrown away into the dugout, and that will score 2 runs. Matto from second should score. No, he won't. He'll be held at third. Ben Cone throwing an absolute rocket into the Manly dugout. Liberopoulos couldn't handle it at third base. Chris Corey just making sure to find out that the runners are going to be placed in the right position. He's chatting with Nick Glasbrook now. They're going to confer. Phil Hemmer now coming over. He's going to make a pitching change. So Gabriel Matto will stay at third base. Yoshi Umezawa will get to second on the throwing error. And with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning, Manly have extended their lead 4-1. Baulkham Hills are going to come out, possibly ask a question over an infield fly. But the way I understand the rule, that the fielder wasn't in a position to make the out. He wasn't camped under the ball, which I believe the way it's kind of written in the rule. So there won't be a change in the call. It'll stand. Baulkham Hills dugout, not very happy with it. Bit of chirping coming out of there, but second and third now, one out. And Manly have turned over the lineup for the shortstop, Jalen Ray. Manly with another run on that play. Adam O'Neill crossing the plate for the second time tonight. It's now 4-1 in favour of the Manly Eagles. And that ball bounced into the plate for ball one. Jalen Ray set in the box, looking to extend this Manly lead here late in the game. Little bit of a curve, get me over curveball there. Get Tommy Roberts back into this count. 1 ball and 1 strike. And a foul ball there over the right field first base dugout. Ray now behind, 1 ball and 2 strikes, but he's a very patient hitter. And he will foul out here. The foul tip into the glove of Jack Dormer. And Phil Hemmer will make that pitching change now. So we'll have a quick break and we'll be right back. On the mound now for the Baulkham Hills Orioles is the veteran Chris Oxspring, back in Baulkham Hills colours this year. And his first delivery was a strike to the catcher, Jules Kremer, 0 for 3 tonight. And there it is, his first hit of the game. Picked up in the right field by Matt Martinson, and a strong throw. And he's hung up here, and he will get back to first. And another run scores. Comedy of errors. Yeah, here we go. A little bit of Little League. This could be a Little League home run. Jules Kremer turns around third base. Martin picks up the ball from deep centre field. And the throw will not be in time. It's a Little League home run to Jules Kremer. 4 errors on the play. Great running there by Gabs Matteau to confuse the Baulkham Hills defence. Kreml got hung up between first and second when the throw came home. Dormer fired it up to second, but it couldn't be handled. Kremer then circled back the bases, went all the way from halfway in between first and second base and scored. And Jules Kremer picks up 2 RBIs on the play, and the Eagles extend their lead 7 runs to 1. So 2 pitches from Chris Oxbrin brought in to try and close out this inning, and it's gone absolutely pear-shaped. And Manly have picked up another 3 runs. And now Ryan Kalish is behind 2 strikes. Fouls that off. Keep this at bat going. So Kalish now down 0-2 with 2 out here. And the bases all to himself. And it gets him on the curveball. That will finish the inning. But after 6 complete, Manly 7, Baulkham Hills 1. Top of the 7th now here at Aquatic Ballpark, and it's James Miller out for more work here. Looking to put up another 0 on the scoreboard. Booker haven't scored since the first inning. And 2 very bizarre plays in that previous inning have helped Manly extend their lead. But with still half an hour to go in this game, there is plenty of baseball to be played given the experience and the ability of this Baulkham Hills lineup. They've got bats 1 through 9, so no lead is safe for any team against the Baulkham Hills club. Eunice leading it off here in the top of the 7th. 1 ball and 1 strike as he checks for his pitch. And a curveball lifted in the air. Adam O'Neill, a couple steps to his right, waves off the right field of the left fielder Nelson Phillips, and we have 1 away. James Percival now, that lone run scorer for the Baulkham Hills club. And that's a ball in the dirt. Jules Kramer asking umpire Nick Glasbrook for a new one. Not as many balls available here in State League Baseball as there are in the major leagues. Probably 4 or 5 on a good day. Balls are a lot more roughed up than what they are in the professional league. Even though Jules handed that ball back, it will come back into play at some point. Miller firing a strike there to get back into this contest. 2 balls and a strike. My hot dogs finally arrived. 10 minutes turning into 45. As Percival keeps the hot stick going. Singles into centre field. Very reminiscent of the first inning where he singled with 1 out. And was driven in by Matt Bennett after a wild pitch to the back net moved him up into scoring position. So Manly will be hoping to reverse that scene of events. And Miller is 1 ground ball away from getting this out and sending the Manly bats back out into the field in the bottom of the inning. And Miller starts Matt Bennett with a curveball. Another curveball from Miller. This one a little bit high. Not tempting Bennett into a swing. And with the lefty of Miller on the mound, Percival's lead isn't as big as what it could be with a righty on the mound. So advantage James Miller in this instance, which also will increase the prospects of that double play to hopefully finish this inning for the Manly Eagles. Bennett just fouling that one softly into the first base batter's box. So 1 and 2 strikes now as Bennett digs down to China, trying to get a strong foothold in the ground. But there's plenty of clay in that left-hand batter's box. And he lifts that one into right field. Gabriel Matto can't quite get it despite the dive. And it will be a single to Matt Bennett here in the top of the 7th. So Ben Cohn now singled in his last at-bat into left field, hit the ball very hard. We'll be looking to take the opportunity of a couple of base runners. Looks like Shohei Ariyama warming up in the bullpen. Don't know whether he's warming up to come into this game or whether he's throwing a side session in preparation for Sunday's game. But he's up there nonetheless, and that is ball 1 on the outside corner there from Miller to Ben Cohn, the left fielder. So the action continues on Saturday with the under-18s in action against this Baulkham Hills outfit. And it's the up and down from Miller, keeping Percival close at second. Manly under-18s, good win on last Saturday, 6-2 over the MacArthur Orioles. With starting pitcher Luke Brown going 4 2/3 innings, retiring the first 9 batters of the game. And he picked up the I Love Pizza Performance Player of the Week for round 4. They take on the Baulkham Hills Club, who are 2-1 on the season. They lost in their last start against the Ryde Hawks, who are leading the competition 3-0. And that's a ball there, 2-1 for Ben Cohn here in this one. So the 18s will be at 2 o'clock. The Manly Futures, the younger age under 18 side, will follow that game at 4:45. Cohn pops that up, but it's foul. And my director of production here, Andrew Logue, tells me that he is facing those Manly Futures teams with his Forest Mets team. So, be an interesting match up there. The Futures put in 2 pretty good efforts so far in the start of this season. A very young team, maybe mostly made up of 15 and 16-year-olds who are looking to potentially break into the under-18s this year or get extra games under their belt in the hopes of making the side next year. So 2-1 here for Miller. I thought it was 2-2, but Nick Lesbrook puts up 2-1. So we'll wait and see. Our graphic shows 2-2. And that's a foul ball down the left side. So regardless, it's now 2-2. We're going to be right at some point. So yes, the Manly Futures team, 4:45, following the under-18s team on Diamond 1 up at Aquatic. And then Sunday, third grade action. 9:30, kicking off. We'll be live and exclusive from the ballpark. Hopefully this Sunday with commentary. I won't sleep in again and I'll get up here and we'll be set up ready to go for the first pitch. And that ball's foul. Down the right field line, over the head of a ducking Bob Crawford there at first base. So still 2-2. Noon start for the second grade. Both second grade and third grade will be looking to reverse the fortunes of last week's losses. The third grade in a late nail biter and the second grade side just never in it from the start. But they'll face tough opposition against a very strong Baulkham Hills club who haven't lost in both grades. The second grade team did have a draw early against MacArthur, coming back from an early 7-1 deficit. And then first grade action from 2:30 here at the ballpark. Your Manly Eagles against the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras. That ball up, ball 4. So Ben Cohn, patience at the plate there, draws the walk. And with the return of Jalen Ray this week and Gabriel Matto, Manly side will be a lot stronger. Also with the return of Connor McDonald and Rodney Van Busen up in the first grade side. So Heath Gray steps up with loaded bases. And first pitch you see, grounds into a ground ball. Jalen Ray only has one play, but it can't be scooped, and it's going to score 2 runs. Jalen Ray didn't have a shot at second base for the double play, and can't make the play at over to first base either. So Baulkham Hills getting 2 runs on this one. And Mesa Endo just circling, as Baulkham Hills have announced a pinch hitter in Jeremy Bylighter. Baulkham Hills now 7-3, clawing their way back. 14 minutes to go in this one. So this could be Baulkham Hills' last chance, although with Oxspring on the mound. Jimmy Miller is done for the night, so a good outing from Jimmy. Bit unlucky on that one not to get out of it. But it will be the Japanese flamethrower Shohei Ariyama to come in and finish this one off. So while Shohei warms up, we'll take a break and I'll enjoy the rest of this hot dog and we'll be back very shortly. So, Shohei Ariyama, the new batter for the Manly Eagles, and Jeremy Bylighter, the pinch hitter for the Baulkham Hills club. 7-3 here in the top of the 7th. Runners on second and third. Baulkham Hills threatening here in the top of the 7th. Down 7-3 with only one out. And Bylighter pops that one up foul to even up the count. 1 ball and a strike. Got hecklers in the background telling me I misspoke. I don't think that I did. I never do. I'll double check that later on when I review the tape. Curveball just a little bit high and inside there from Ariyama. Bylighter taking that with a bit of a back bend. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike here with one out in the top of the 7th. Ariyama checks into his Dutch catcher, Jules Kremer, for the signal. And that's up for ball 3. It's an interesting statistic that a lot of pinch hitters in games tend to be in out. So it's interesting that Bylighter comes in here over Liberopoulos. But it's an effective out. Another run scores. So closes the gap to 3, 7-4 in favour of the Eagles. RBI ground out there by the pinch hitter Bylighter. And that is the second out of this top of the 7th. Martinson now steps in. Still with the runner at third. Still with a job to do. Needs to try and extend this inning. As he takes that ball up. Big g'day to Matt G. Evans. Giving me score updates from around the grounds up on the Central Coast. Or is it on the Central Coast? No, it's at Blacktown International Sports Park. As Martinson swings at that one for strike 1. 1 ball and a strike. Central Coast 10-2 over Penrith, who have enjoyed some early season form. They walked off against Cronulla last Sunday. And that ball squirts away from Kremer. Big Heath Gray steaming down the line, but Kremer won't be able to get it back in time. And that's another run for Baulkham Hills. So Martinson just needs to keep this inning alive now. Needs to get himself on board for the 8 and 9 hitters to hopefully turn the line up over for the Baulkham Hills club. And he pops that one up. Beasley moves into it, just off the grass, takes the catch for the third out of the inning. Martinson throws his helmet hard into the ground in disgust. So, after 6.5 innings, we're going to head to the bottom of the 9th with your Manly Eagles 7, Baulkham Hills 5. So Nelson Phillips here leading off the bottom of the 7th inning. Continuing on those scores around the ground from Matt Jeevens. MacArthur 7 over Blacktown 1. Looks like Manly have played MacArthur into a little bit of form. Hadn't won up until last Wednesday night, but with 2 wins last round. Looks like they're going to make it 3 in as many games. Just leaves Canterbury and Cronulla at Hammondville as the only game without a score. But thanks to Matt Jeevens for tuning in and letting us know of those scores. Phillips, 3 for 3 tonight. Singles into right field. Good to see Big Nelly finding some form with the bat. Chris Osping continuing on the mound. And skipper Chris Corey coming over to make a change in runner. It's going to be Trent Nichol to pinch run for Nelson Phillips. No, cancel that. Trent did come out of the dugout. But it's a pinch hitter. Brendan Haythwaite's going to come up and pinch hit. He's going to hit for Gabriel Matto in the 8th spot. Chris Ospring just getting a couple of warm-up pitches in, keeping himself warm. Could be looking at a bunt situation here. No, he's not in for Matto. As Brendan Haythwaite fouls that one hard into the fence. Just up from the first base dugout. He's pinch hitting for Daniel Goodsall, the first baseman. And he's down 1 strike here in this at-bat. Nelson with a small lead at first base. And a check swing there. Didn't check his swing. Now behind 0-2 against Chris Ospring. And Brendan Haythwaite pulls it into left field. Good piece of hitting there from the rookie. Keeps the pressure on here in the bottom of the 7th inning with runners on first and second. So Josh Beasley takes that ball down for ball run. Runners on first and second for Manly here in the bottom of the 7th. Try to get back a couple of those runs they lost in that last inning. Beasley takes strike 1 at the belt there for 1 ball and a strike now here in this at-bat. And fouls that one off, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Don't forget to jump on our social media channels, Facebook and Instagram at Manly Eagles Baseball. Plenty of information about performances, results, draws, games, and exciting stuff on those pages as well. So at Manly Eagles Baseball on Facebook and Instagram. Jump on there, give us a like, and keep up to date with everything that's happening this season. And that's ball down in the dirt for ball number 2. Evens the count now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 runners on base. And Josh Beasley seeing that ball down, watching it all the way, hanging back, not offering at it unnecessarily. And he has filled this count up now, 3-2 with 2 runners on, really looking to get aboard any way he can to extend this inning and give Manly a few more runs. Slices that one. It's going to drop in short. Munson running into it, but he last man to catch. And Brendan Haythwaite thought it was going to drop, started taking off towards second base, got back in time. Munson threw the ball. Haythwaite would have been out at first base, but the throw was down and couldn't be picked by Matt Bennett at first, so he was unable to get the double play there to finish the inning and finish the game. Phil Hemmer has walked out to the mound. Umpire Nick Glasbrook is in discussion, and ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Nick Glasbrook has called the game. Manly 7 have defeated the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras 5. An excellent bounce back from the Eagles after a tough few weeks to start this season. But with Jalen Ray back in the lineup, Gabriel Matto also back, Jules Kremer picking up a very clutch hit, which turned into be a Little League home run. Manly have won this game 7-5, and their first win of the season at Aquatic Ballpark. An historic win for us at Eagles Baseball Sports Network, EBSN. Manly now 1 win and 2 losses on live streaming games from Aquatic Ballpark. But an excellent performance by the whole lineup, 1 through 9. The pitching was also very strong all game. Plenty of options for Chris Corey. Gessner threw 2 1/3. Miller was outstanding, as he is every single outing. And the bats got the job, capitalised on every opportunity, which is something they've really struggled to do with so far this season. Back in action here on the weekend. Come and join us again on Sunday from 9:30 for the first game of third grade. All 3 teams looking to pick up some very important wins, especially early in this season of 2019 and 2020. We'll be live and exclusive from Aquatic Ballpark on EBSN Eagles Baseball Sports Network. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Luke Eisenhower. Thanks to Andrew Logue once again, and we look forward to having you tuning back in on Sunday.